Client-side performance testing. For this exercise, we are going to record three types of client performances. First one is going to be the page load time. That will be done if how much time it takes for the page to load when the data is cached, how much time it takes for the page to load when data is not cached. Second measurement we are going to do is the page size. In this, again, we will be doing it in two ways. One is what is the total page size when the data is not cached, and what is the total page size when the data is cached. Page size will include all the static resources like CSS files, JavaScript files, images, some of the static master data or other data that we use to render the page. It will also include the dynamic data, the one that gets generated as the page transitions from state to state. During this time, we will performance recording, we will also try to see is the cache setting working on the server or not. That will be displayed by is the response showing as cached or not. And the third thing that we will record is are there any kind of significant CPU spikes that are happening. There will be some CPU spikes that will happen, but the page should not have a sustained CPU spike. A CPU spike of few milliseconds is acceptable because that is when the client machine or the device is trying to render based on the data it received from the server. That is acceptable, but if the CPU spike is sustaining for, let's say, over few seconds, that will be a problem because what that means is that there is some client-side code or the content that is taking way too long. What that means is that if it's taking too long, the user is going to see that page is either not responding or the user is not able to interact with the page. So the tool of so what we are going to use is the developer tools that are available for each browser. Luckily, most of the modern browsers have started using Chromium engine. That would mean that all the developer tools will look the same. They will behave the same. That means once we understand how to record these measurements in one browser, it will be same. The look may be a little different. So it means the Chrome browser, Microsoft Edge browser, Safari browser from Apple, they all use the Chromium engine behind the scene. That means for all these three browsers, we will be measuring the performance exactly the same way. Firefox does not use Chromium engine, but they also provide developer tools. So depending on the operating system, you may see the icons may look different, but at the end of the day, they will be same. So let's start. Since I have my MacBook open, I'm going to start from the MacBook side. I have, here is Chrome. To launch the DevTools from Chrome, look out on the right side. In my case, you can see there is a little red icon which says customize and control Google Chrome update. But if you click on it, it will open a menu. There you will see more tools. Under more tools, you will see developer tools. Click on it and it will open a window which will show all the dev tools that are available. Depending on your settings, this window may open as a standalone window, or it may open as a window that is below the content of the page. Since I already have docked it out, that is why in my case it opens as a completely separate window. And So you can see right here by clicking here, you can see the dock side. In my case, it is undocked. That is why it opened in a separate window. Or you can, depending on the type of monitor you have, you can dock it to the bottom, dock it to the left, right, whatever is your choice. So that is how it looks on Chrome on Mac OS. Let's look at how does it look like for Safari. On Safari is a little different. To look at these dev tools in Safari, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna see at the top there is a menu called Develop. Under Develop, go there, you will see a bunch of these menu items. Say Show Web Inspectors, JavaScript Console, Timeline Coding Selection. They all open the dev tools. Now you can see they exactly look like Chrome. The only difference now in my case is that since I don't use Safari that much, it already opened with the default setting that the dev tools are docked at the bottom of the screen. But at the end of the day, it's the same tools. Now let's look at the Microsoft Windows operating system side. So I have these browsers already open. On the left is Edge Chromium. You can see on the right I have Chrome open. They look pretty much the same. Only difference is the icons look a little different. So in case of Chromium Edge, you will see these three dot menu. You click on it. Now you can see it's so similar to how the Chrome looked like Mac OS. More tools, developer tools. Same window because I use it a lot. I've already docked it out. So that opens the dev tools for Edge. Now let's look for the Chrome browser or Microsoft operating system. See, in this case, it is same three dots vertical. You click on it, you see the more tools, click on it, brings the dev tools. Same, again, I've already docked it out, but they look the same. Let's see. Let's open them side by side and see is there any difference. All right, so here is the dev tools in Edge. Here are the dev tools in Chrome. All right, so comparing these, so you don't find any difference at all, except that in Microsoft's case, they have some, actually there is no difference, just additional kind of a send feedback, but overall you can see they both look the same. So like earlier I said, the performance measuring is going to be same across the board for the browsers that use the Chromium engine. Earlier I said Firefox is different, so let's open Firefox. So here is Firefox, and where do I go to find the dev tools? Luckily, Firefox follows the same pattern as Google's engine. So in this case, they have a hamburger icon. You click on it. There is the web developer. You click on it, and now you can just click on, say, all these things, the options that in the web developer menu, they open the same window. So you can click on any of them, and now you can see the same performance, and you can see it looks the same as the Chromium engine. So there is no difference except they may work differently or they may record things differently, but at the end of the day, the tool of the choice is going to be using the developer tools in all these browsers.